well, there we go. Phoenix wins the series. There's a lot of angles to go with this one. The first being I was wrong. I thought Lakers were going to win. I didn't think they could defend LeBron enough, and clearly they could. Did they benefit from LeBron's ankle? I'm going to assume so. But even so, LeBron was out there, and I mean, remember that run that he went on in Game 3, I believe it was, where he was just unstoppable for like that third quarter, getting into the paint whenever he wanted to? The Suns made sure that did not happen again. I mean, even in this game, Jay Crowder had that one where he forced the jump ball on LeBron. I think there was a block at the rim that I don't remember. And they did such a good job of inviting LeBron to pass it out to the, everybody on the perimeter and loading up on the inside, which is not like something that's never been done against LeBron, but they did it well. They gave themselves a chance. So that was huge. Of course, look, AD not being there, yeah. But Chris Paul also was hurt, so the Lakers benefited from that. And the Lakers definitely had moments in this series and in this game where their energy wasn't there. I mean, if their energy was there from the beginning and they just did a better job of closing out to shooters, and if they perhaps realized that just no center at all was the best option, then maybe they could have made this a game. Maybe they could have won. But instead, the most they could get to was about 10 points, and then it's, between the Devin Booker just going crazy early, which gave him such a big hole, and, Booker was doing those curl plays, and he also had, like, that turnaround on the baseline, and he had, like, one or two just contested threes with not a lot of action. And then later on, it was, Cam Johnson in one corner, Mikal Bridges in the other corner when LeBron was sitting. You had one DeAndre Ayton scoop shot, taking advantage of the fact the Lakers had no center, and they just ran like a basic pick and roll with Ayton, I believe it was. It might have been a trap, actually, on Booker. And then you had Chris Paul with that one mid-range ISO over, I think it was Schroeder. And then you also had another one where CP got inside. He had that turnaround jumper over LeBron. Like, they made shots, And also, I think Cam Payne also drew a couple fouls where he was able to get inside there in the fourth. So Phoenix, they made the plays they had to make. The Lakers were in a position to get back in. So I don't want to act like it's just, well, AD was hurt, LeBron had an ankle, that's it. Phoenix earned the win, and they've been earning wins all season. Now, to talk about the other conversation that's definitely going to come, because we just saw LeBron lose in round one, which, like, that's never happened. He was like something in 0 in round ones. For anybody who's going to act like, well, how, your legacy, whatever, relax, okay? The guy's 36. He's in year 18. Like, if it takes you almost 20 years to lose in round one, I think you're doing pretty okay, okay? So, like, if you're going to try to do your mental gymnastics on how this actually makes LeBron worse than whoever you want to say all time, I mean, you can go for it. I'm not going to listen to you. So that's about that. As far as thinking about the Lakers and this offseason, I mean, actually, I'm going to say this first. They could have had Kyle Lowry. And does Kyle Lowry swing the series? Yeah, I'll just say it. He does. Maybe they still lose, but he definitely gives them a better chance. I mean, it was Schroeder, Talen Horton-Tucker, KCP. That's what it would have been. I mean, I already made the video saying I think they should have done it. I think they still should have done it. Anyway. If that was really it. If they had to do more, well, maybe it would have been too much. I don't know. Anyway, for this offseason, I mean, look, actually, before I eventually get to that, I know I'm stumbling over everything right now. Is this the new LeBron? In the sense of, like, look, 2 years ago, groin. Last year, no injury, championship. Of course, AD being healthy was huge too. This year, ankle, clearly not the same guy. Is that just how it's going to be? Like, is he going to be kind of like Bill Walton in the last few years of his career here, where it's like, when he's healthy, he's amazing, but there's always that lingering fear. Is this going to have to be like a minutes management thing? Is he going to have to play less games? Are the Lakers going to just have to be content with being like the 4th seed if it means giving themselves the best chance? Maybe. I mean, if AD is healthy, then I guess you don't have to do that as much, but that's a fear as well, so we'll have to see. Anyway, we think about the Lakers and just the moves they can make before I eventually get back to the Suns here. But, Lakers just lost, and I want to talk about it. I started with Phoenix. I mean, besides LeBron and AD, there's a decent amount of uncertainty here. I mean, KCP's under contract, Kuzma's under contract. They're both okay, not great. The Schroeder thing is the big one right now. I mean, he wants a big payday, and somebody might give it to him. I mean, there's teams with cap space, man, and Do I think the Knicks should throw a $25 million a year offer at Schroeder? No, but they might do it. Or somebody else might do it. I don't know. And depending on his relationship with the front office, that could be rough. Harrell's got a player option. He definitely believes he's worth more than $9.7 million. And then you just got this crop of young dudes. Caruso's a free agent. Markieff Morris, he doesn't matter as much. And, they do have their pick this offseason, I believe. They do. So they have the luxury of trading that, I believe, after they use it on draft night, because next year's is owed to the Pelicans and, back-to-back years, that whole rule. So they can make a move, and perhaps you're using, Kuzma or KCP's contracts to make something happen. You could maybe put Marc Gasol's $2.6 million in there as well. So maybe there's some guy making about $15-16 million that they can make a move for. But besides that, they're just going to have to do a good job in free agency. And it's not even going to be that easy because they're already over not the luxury tax. They're over the salary cap for next season. So we'll see what they want to do. They've certainly got some, they need some things to break their way, mainly still Schroeder. So yeah. Also, there's Talen Horton-Tucker in his free agency, and we'll have to see how essential they view him as well. To get back to Phoenix, they're facing the Nuggets in round 2, excuse me. That'll be interesting. Chris Paul's shoulder, still a big question. The Nuggets will maybe have Will Barton back, we'll see. Does DeAndre Ayton have a chance on Jokic? One-on-one, no. But I do think Phoenix is equipped, more so than perhaps a lot of teams, to surround Jokic and then get out to shooters. I know it's very difficult to do, and no defense could do it perfectly. But perhaps Phoenix could do it better than Portland. Because Jokic did whatever he wanted against the Blazers. And maybe against the Suns, there could be times where they get up under him, they can swipe the ball, they get into a jump ball situation, or they just get back to the shooter before Jokic can get the pass to him. It sounds basic, but that's pretty much how you do it. Of course, it's still tough because the Nuggets don't really have a guy who you can leave wide open, and I don't think the Suns have anybody tall enough to deal with MPJ, so that's going to be a thing. But still, that will be a good series, and look, one LA team is out and the other one's down 3-2. It's going to be interesting to see what is the media conversation, because this is not normal. Usually there's one team where it's obvious that they're going to get all the attention. I mean, Bucks-Nets, yeah, that's the series for round 2. But for the Western Conference, especially if the Clippers lose, it's are Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp going to talk about Jazz-Mavs? Are they going to talk about Suns-Nuggets all day? I guess it'll be kind of funny to see how it goes.